Ladies and gentlemen, this story came out in the Grio, and I have a lot to say about this. I am one that believes, I don't believe white people should adopt black children. We've seen a lot of incidents, and you can pull these stories up. I don't have to do it for you. You can pull these stories up of whites adopting black children and abusing and killing them. And it's the reason why Ethiopia will no longer allow whites to come in their country and adopt their children. They have ended all adoptions to white people because many of them have either come back to them badly abused or they were killed at the hands of white people. Number two, I have noticed, and y'all please correct me if I'm wrong, I have encountered black people that were raised in white families. And one thing I notice more than anything about them, by the time they become adults, they can't relate to black people at all. They literally cannot. And I've met a few of them. So white people really don't have the ability to give those children the black experience. So when they grow up, they're like oddballs among black people, you know? And then you had that lesbian white female couple that drove over the cliff with their black adopted children. It's just not a good situation. Now, some of you may say, well, if they got the money, well, it's not about money. Okay, it's not about money, especially when you're raising children. Yeah, you need money to take care of the kids, but you also have to have the ability to give that child love and affection and be able to teach that child. And all we see in this society is a bunch of indifferences between black and white people. And if you see a group of people have a serious inability to treat another group right, why would you adopt your kids out to them? That doesn't go away because they adopted a black child. That doesn't disappear or dissipate into thin air. Those biases are still there. So, this is not the first time Madonna has done something like this. Go back and look at the images of her having her black African adopted children massage her feet. Now she got them in a picture with a slice of watermelon, standing in the background with watermelon. You notice she don't do this with her white children. Madonna got a son and daughter, biological. She don't do these things to them. You don't see them massaging her feet in pictures and standing there with watermelon. She don't do that to them. When she's showing her white children, she makes sure they are in pictures where they just look normal and everything is fine. But with these black kids, they're massaging her feet and watermelon got to be in the picture. That should say it all. These people can't turn this stuff off. They got a long-standing history of doing this sort of thing. So am I surprised? No. Look at the history. There's no denying it. I mean, you can get mad at me all you want, but that history is there. And people that have that kind of history with black people, I don't think it's a good idea to be adopting your children to them. I don't care what money they have. The money they have is not erasing any racism, is it? Is racism diminished because they got money? No, no. In fact, you can take it back to the time of lynching. Bush's great grandfather, Prescott Bush, is seen in pictures of black people getting lynched. And he was a wealthy man. All you got to do is pull up Prescott Bush at lynchings. This man went to lynchings like it was a sport, and he was wealthy. So, no, money don't diminish that. And it's certainly not diminishing it for Madonna. What is the intent of the person that wants to adopt a child that don't look anything like them? It's not always about money. It's not. Sometimes it may be some fetish they have. I mean, look, that lesbian couple were starving those children. They had black children. They were starving those children. Those children were very underweight, and they were not even being fed properly. So I'm just not for it. I'm not for it. I think those kids, are better off where they are than in the household of many of these people like Madonna. That's how I feel. Madonna sparks web fury for posing adopted African daughters in pics with slices of watermelon. Like I said, go look at those pictures of her African children massaging her feet. Pop singer Madonna has ignited both fury and sparked debate on social media after she posted a series of photos featuring two of her adopted African daughters standing behind a slice of watermelon. Stereotypes linked to black people and watermelon prompted Twitter users to blast the singer and accuse her of racism and being culturally insensitive. Madonna knows about black people's association with watermelon. She already knows that. You don't have to tell her that. You don't have to tell Madonna that. People like her, they know. Watermelon has been used as a racist trope in American culture dating back to the Civil War era. Actually, it was prior to. You can see the portraits and depictions of black people in watermelon prior to the Civil War. It was pre-Civil War. They were doing that back then. When slaves won their emancipation, the Atlantic noted. Free black people grew, ate, and sold watermelons, and in doing so, made the fruit a symbol of their freedom, according to a 2014 story in the magazine. Southern whites, threatened by blacks' newfound freedom, responded by making the fruit a symbol of black people's perceived uncleanliness, laziness, childishness, and unwanted public presence. And those things are all bogus. And here's why. Who created that situation? First of all, black people, you understand, you became lazy when you refused to work for white people for free. That's when they start slapping on the lazy label. Unclean, childish, unwanted. Who created those things for black people? Who created that? Because we're not like that naturally. So who put us in this situation? The bottom line is, just do the comparison. There were some Irish people that were slave owners. We know that from McConnell and O'Rourke. Let's be real. We know that. They had some that were indentured servants, but they were not indentured servants at the same level of chattel slavery. It was not that many indentured servants in comparison. It wasn't. Many of those people were working off a criminal debt. Those were the criminals that came over and ended up in those situations. When they left with money, food, clothing, and all of the resources they needed to make it after they left. Slaves left with nothing but the clothes on their backs. So, who put them in these situations? This is why I don't want to hear your complaints about what state they were in. You let them leave with nothing, no land, no money, no clothes, no nothing. And then you turned around and complained about them. No, no, I don't accept that. I don't accept it. The people that released these slaves in that state, that's on you. That's a reflection on you, not that slave. Fast forward to 2019, and Black Twitter has been quick to remind others of this historical origin when someone like Madonna reigns ignorance. The pop superstar is the mother of 6, daughter Lourdes and son Rocco. And, and of course, those children would be in today's society considered white. She has, the twins are at the center of Madonna's watermelon photo. So she has African twin daughters that she adopted. One Twitter user suggests she's racially exploiting her children. And here's a tweet right here. Madonna uses her black kids for performance, racism. That's how she stays relevant. And another comment about what Madonna's real sentiment towards her twins. Yeah. And here's another one. A third flatly questioned her intelligence. So, hashtag, so at Madonna really thought it was okay to take pictures of her kids, her black kids with watermelon. Madonna knows what she's doing, y'all. Don't think for a second that she doesn't know what she's doing. Madonna knows exactly what she's doing. Okay, like I said, you go back and look at the pictures of her having her African kids massage her feet. Where are her white children doing this stuff? She make damn sure they're not in photographs like that. Okay, so she has built a 30-year career on pushing the envelope, and I don't care about that. I really don't. Okay, she was also accused of being racially tone deaf while paying tribute to Aretha Franklin at her 2018 MTV Video Music Awards, where she seemingly talked about herself than she did the legendary singer. Well, I don't think she should have been part of the contribute to Aretha Franklin. I don't believe Madonna and Aretha Franklin were best friends. I don't think she should have been there at all. I don't believe Madonna should have been doing any tribute to Prince. The way it just seems like every time it's a black singer, Madonna seems to be on the scene. I don't think she should be. I don't believe she was that close with Prince. It's just her getting out there and getting a lot of shine every time someone black and famous is dead. I mean, come on, let's be real. How many photographs have you seen over the years with Madonna and Aretha Franklin together, and they were pals? They were good friends. We ain't seen this. And there's a reason why you didn't see it. The reason why you didn't see it is because they weren't no close friends. So why is Madonna there doing some tribute? And even if you say, well, maybe she admired her, there's a lot of people that admire singers. That doesn't mean they should do the tribute. I just don't believe that. But to me, this is classic Madonna 101. And this is classic American society. ladies and gentlemen. It really is. I mean, let's be real. This is classic American society, what Madonna did. You know, these are things we don't need. We don't need these sort of things. And at this point, I have to question Africa for continuing to adopt your children to people with this sort of reputation. Why do you keep doing it? You know, and if it's the orphanages or where you have these children, then those places got to be improved. But adopting people out, your children, because somebody came along and they got money, people with money are no good. Sometimes those are the people that ain't no good. Look, you got what, billionaire Jeffrey Epstein with a bunch of underage teens. There goes somebody that's a billionaire. Sometimes some people, just because they got money, sometimes they are more evil than people with no money. They really are. I think the problem is these Africans are so excited to adopt these children out, especially to someone famous. They don't think about some of the consequences of what these children may end up in. They don't think about that. It's all about adopting them out and getting them a home, but at what cost? At what cost? Always remember, I don't care what anybody say, always remember that couple that drove their kids over a cliff. Always remember that. Please tell me what you think, ladies and gentlemen. You know, you can think whatever you want. The bottom line is these kids need to be loved, they need to be sheltered, and they need the kind of emotional support that a parent would give them, not somebody because they got money and have a serious inability to do those things. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.